Hi, this is Alcam. Welcome back to my channel. As you may know, yesterday there was a mass shooting that took place at a rail facility in Northern California, the VTA. There's about 10 people dead, one critical. I'm not sure his condition, but he's in serious condition. It appears that the shooter was an employee of that agency. Apparently, he has some kind of a problem, according to his ex-wife. He was moody, alcoholic, and seemed to have a lot of grudges. Seems that he took his work home with him. Something like me. Of course, the only difference is I never took a gun and wiped anybody out. So that's a big difference. But when you have an employee who's under the radar, because since he's not a train operator, a conductor, or a bus operator, they're not going to be checking him for mental stability. I don't know if they do drug tests on mechanics or maintenance people, but maybe that's something they should be looking into in the future, so this doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, if you wonder if this ever happened to me in my 33 years with New York City Transit, the answer is yes. I brought my work home with me. It drove my wife crazy too. In fact, it threw her in a state of depression. She can't stand all the garbage that comes from work every day. It's probably what happened to this man and his ex-wife. She's seen therapy because of the situation. He's felt that he got cheated out of assignments and so on. Well, I've been cheated out of a lot of stuff thanks to New York City Transit. And of course, to make insult over injury, they said they no longer going to pay for my wife's medical in August of 2019. This is a good way of saying thank you for your services. Now we're just going to kick you where the sun don't shine. Yes. I mean, I lost assignments. They took jobs away from me, treated like garbage by the public and management. They know who they are. Unless you want me to mention the names, which I'm sure you don't want me to say that in the video. Yes. Could the shooting incident have been prevented? Yes. But we don't know what steps management, union, or both took or didn't take to avoid this situation. I mean, in my 33 years of transit, if you're wondering, has this ever happened besides me? You say, yeah. We have employees that had grudges and took it out on their employer or fellow employees. We had employees bring guns to work. The last incident I recall was in the 2000s. A train operator having problems at home, brought his work home, or he brought his problems from home to work, overran a track gang. Nobody was hurt, but they were talking about having him demoted. So as a result, he took a gun with him to work to a Bronx subway yard, Grand Concourse yard, and killed himself. And I understand they try to blame the the Transit Property Protection Agent for the incident. Well, sorry, but they don't check for guns. You don't have metal detectors. You don't have those little devices that you can check person coming in. So how are you blaming him? It's beyond me. Yes, I had everything from so-called uniform violations to assignments changed so I couldn't work them anymore or eliminate the line. Overtime theft. What they did to me in the 2005 transit strike. It's enough for me to have went off the deep end and started shooting people, but I didn't. I don't regret not doing it. I might be poorer because my pension should have been bigger, but it's not. But yet, Long Island Railroad employees seem to be making a whole lot more money than I am and bringing home more money in their pensions and rarely questioned until recently. You know, there was a group that had sued the NTA to get the information about the overtime, and they hadn't done that. A certain track measuring person would have gotten away with a huge pension that he didn't deserve. In fact, how did he earn so much money? He cheated. In fact, the overtime of the last year, that he got him that $400,000 check. Yeah, he was measuring tracker, right? The tracking of the bowling alley. He wasn't at work. He was at a bowling alley, forging documents. Yet, I take too long switching signs on a 68, and I had the assignment taken away from me. See how wonderful MDA works? So, yeah, I had grudges. I still have grudges to this day. I mean, for example, Kevin O'Connell, the Chief Transportation Officer for RTO, as they called it back then. He also has a similar history to the shooter in Northern California. He was involved in maintenance, and unfortunately, he has an alcohol problem that they try to cover it up, but didn't seem to work too well to cover it up. In fact, somebody said, what's more dangerous than a drunk Kevin O'Connell? A sober one. Please sue, because I want to take your asses to court. Please sue. I also have a grudge against former TA president, well, it's not TA president, New York City Transit president, Lawrence G. Reuter. Oh, thank you for coming to work today. No, why don't you tell them the truth? We're glad we forced you to come into work today and screwed you out of everything, which you did. So did Kevin O'Connell. He canceled vacations, forced me to come to work, and found out later that canceling vacation was a violation of an arbitrary decision, but he did it anyway. I don't know if he was drunk or not. It didn't matter. He destroyed my union career. I couldn't run for office. Yep. I carried out and freaking went to work. And why? I was in so much debt because a family friend was dipping into our money, and we're behind in our rent and our bills, including the electricity, the phone, and so on. All of it could have been cut off at any time. So, now you know why I crossed the picket line. To save a lousy $400, I had lost thousands and thousands of dollars. and everything. Could have gotten a house if I had been a union official. We wouldn't have moved out of New York. I would have been able to get better doctors for Michelle. Or who knows what else. My son would have graduated from college. But instead, he has to be working as a carrier, and I had to go back to work as an independent contractor, doing independent jobs. Which ironically, I have a much better relationship with the private sector employer than I ever had with New York City Transit. Which is probably because my private employers are not politically driven like New York City Transit is. So, it's a shame that an event, what happened in Northern California, had to come out for stuff like this to happen. And ironically, I'm trying to find lawyers to try to get back at the authority, try to make up what I lost, but they don't seem to be interested. I can't be blaming Black Lives Matter or anything like that because they weren't the problem. So, the banning of the guns is not going to solve the problem because people will always find a way to get a gun and start shooting, legal or illegally. What it needs to be is to fix the problem before it starts. If management or the union or both or whatever's doing it is causing the problem, that's where you have to fix the problem. Because we had too many Karens out there in the transit world causing problems for the crews, as well as at work, some members. And unfortunately, if an employee has mental issues and is not getting treated for it, that's what's going to happen. So, this is Alcan saying so for now, and don't forget your stop. Good night.